My name is Andrew Chalmers. I currently am a teacher out at Ross High and during my probation year. I did the 4-year course at Edinburgh University, PE, BEd Physical Education. What got me into it in the first place was firstly, my kind of simple love of sport. Also, my mentors at school were often my PE teachers, so I kind of looked up to these men and women throughout all of school. And then obviously throughout my teaching placements out at some of the schools around Edinburgh and East Lothian, that has got me interested in what I'm going to be talking about today, which is mainly boys' participation in PE. Basically obviously our job depends on our pupils participating in our lessons, and what I kind of found from my last few placements especially was that mainly you saw that girls would often be very disengaged in PE due to throughout most of the sports, but also that there was the odd boy as well that was disengaged in PE, and that could depend on the specific sport or simply at a specific time in their kind of school career. Obviously, looking at research that's been done before, there has been a lot done already on girls' participation in PE. So this is where I kind of saw it as an opportunity to go into the other sex and have a look at the male perspective, and see what boys' disengagement was like in PE. I also decided to kind of have a look at not just one age, but look at if there was a difference between the reasons for this participation from S1 boys all the way to S5, just as a simple, mainly just in core PE and not certificated PE, of course. As I basically sensed that boys' circumstances would maybe be more varied than girls, I used a kind of purposive sample and did my interviews in an inductive way. I gave the boys an option of either doing the interviews one-on-one, so myself and them, or they had also the choice of doing it with a partner or a peer, in their class. From looking at my results and interviews, most of them opted for an individual interview. Now this may just be because by that point in the school they were kind of comfortable with me, or also just the fact that they didn't want their peers to hear their opinions on PE. From here, from transcribing all of my results, I then kind of coded the results into smaller categories to see whether or not there was any patterns that were arising or similar beliefs between the boys that I interviewed. Again, this was comparing the S1s through S2, 3, 4 and 5. So from interviewing these boys, it came across that most of them saw PE as kind of highlighting their vulnerability in a school, because obviously in other classes it's very easy to kind of hide away, and especially at these in more theory classes you can hide away in a corner, get on with your work, and no one's really focusing on you. Whereas in PE, they felt vulnerable because the fact that they were out in the open. They're often, if you're doing a game, for example, in football, they would be in front of the rest of their class. They felt that everyone else was looking at them, and because of that, felt that people were kind of picking on them or laughing at them, and they just felt very, very much in the spotlight. Whereas a lot of the time, we as PE teachers especially may sometimes think that certain kids, it comes across that they just can't be bothered to take part, whereas from looking at my results and what the boys often said, this wasn't really the issue. It wasn't the fact that they didn't really want to do it, it was more these things around them that were putting them off, and just being out in the open in front of everyone that made them feel uncomfortable with PE itself.